Ryan, what did you do? My voice trembled as I stared at the documents scattered across the marble floor. The Hale Enterprises logo stamped at the top looked like a weapon pointed at me. Ryan smirked, leaning against Father's desk. Relax, brother. The board found a few irregularities in your account. A little creative accounting, I guess. I didn't do this, I snapped. These signatures, these aren't mine. Father's voice thundered behind me. Enough, Ethan. The evidence is right here. You funneled millions through dummy subsidiaries. I turned toward him, desperate. Dad, you know I would never steal from the company. He looked at me as if I were something filthy. Don't call me Dad right now. You've shamed this family. Shamed? My chest tightened. I built the software division. I worked every night. While Ryan cleaned your mess, Mother interrupted, her voice sharp as glass. You were always careless, Ethan. Your brother had to save your projects more times than I can count. I looked at her, my mother, hoping to find even a flicker of belief. There was none. Only cold satisfaction. You're lying, I whispered. Ryan stepped closer, lowering his tone. Face it, you were never cut out for this. You think being the eldest makes you special? You're weak. The company deserves someone sharper. You mean someone like you? I said. He smiled, brushing invisible dust from his sleeve. Exactly. Sophia walked in then. My fiancée, the only person I thought might still stand by me. Her eyes were red, but not from crying. From disgust. Tell me it isn't true, she said quietly. It's not, I said instantly. You know me, Sophia. You've seen how hard She took a step back. The news says you transferred funds to an offshore account in my name. Was that your idea of a gift? What? No, Ryan cut me off with a laugh. Come on, Ethan, don't drag her into this. Stop lying. I shouted, slamming my hand on the desk. You framed me. Father's voice rose again. Enough! You're suspended from all company duties effective immediately. Security will escort you out. I froze. You're firing me? Based on fake documents? Based on results, he said coldly. You've lost everything I built. Mother folded her arms. Maybe now you'll learn humility. I felt something shatter inside. My gaze drifted toward Sophia. You believe them? She wouldn't meet my eyes. I can't go down with you, Ethan. I'm sorry. The silence that followed was worse than any scream. I turned to Ryan. You'll regret this. He leaned closer, whispering, maybe, but by then you'll be too dead to see it. The words hit me like ice water. 2 hours later, I was driving down the coastal road, rain hammering the windshield. My phone buzzed. Ryan's message flashed across the screen. Drive safe, brother. The brakes on that car are tricky. My hands went cold. Ryan, what the hell did you... I began to dial him, but the car jerked violently. The steering wheel spun from my grip. I slammed the brakes. Nothing. The cliff edge blurred ahead. God, no, no, no! The tires screamed. Metal tore. The world turned upside down. For a heartbeat, I saw fire bloom like a dying sun. Pain ripped through me, sharp and distant, like it belonged to someone else. Smoke filled my lungs. My seatbelt locked. Flames climbed the dashboard. I coughed, reaching for the door, jammed. The phone lay shattered beside me. I laughed once, a broken sound. Figures. Images flashed behind my eyes. My father's cold stare, my mother's smirk, Sophia's retreating figure, Ryan's grin. I whispered to the dark, I gave you everything. The car groaned as the flames spread. My vision blurred. My heartbeat slowed. A strange calm settled in. I thought of every meeting, every plan, every time I begged them to see me. I finally understood. I had treated them like family when they treated me like a pawn. I gave loyalty when I should have given strategy. I trusted blood when I should have read the balance sheet. The heat swallowed me. My last breath came out as a whisper. Next time I'll run them like a company. The fire roared back, and everything went silent. But even as darkness closed in, one thought burned brighter than the flames. This isn't the end. I'm coming back. The sound of rain pulled me awake. I gasped, clutching the bedsheet, half expecting to see flames. But instead of burning metal and smoke, I saw white walls and the familiar scent of cedar. My old apartment. No, I whispered. That's impossible. The digital clock beside the bed blinked. May 14th, 2 years before the crash. I stumbled to the mirror. My reflection stared back. No burns, no scars, no death. My heartbeat thundered. I'm alive and again? A knock on the door startled me. Mr. Hale? A soft, professional voice. It's Olivia from the office. You asked me to bring the quarterly reports. Olivia Reed. Back then, she'd just joined as my assistant. I opened the door, still dazed. Sir? She asked, confused. You look pale. I just didn't sleep, I managed. Leave the files on the desk. She placed them down, watching me. Are you sure you're okay? I met her eyes. Calm, intelligent, steady. I remembered how loyal she became later, how she was the only one who cried at my funeral. I'm fine, I said finally. Actually, Olivia, cancel all my meetings today. Her brows rose. All of them? Yes, and get me everything you can about Hale's subsidiaries, especially the smaller ones. The forgotten ones, she hesitated. That's unusual. May I ask why? I smiled faintly. Because I'm done playing nice. When she left, I sat at my desk staring at the city skyline. The same skyline I once thought belonged to my family. They had killed me. My parents. My brother. My fiancé. And the universe had the audacity to give me another chance. Fine, I'd make it count. I opened my laptop and began to type. Project Resurrection, a strategic recovery plan. Each name I typed felt like a wound being stitched shut. Charles Hale, CEO, liability. Victoria Hale, PR asset, toxic. Ryan Hale, successor, unstable. Sophia Lane, public relation risk, deceptive. I whispered, you destroyed me once. This time I'll treat you like the failing company you are. By evening, Olivia returned. I've compiled the list you asked for. Some subsidiaries haven't reported profits in months. Perfect, I said. I'll buy controlling shares quietly. Under shell accounts, she blinked. You're planning a takeover? Of your own family's assets? Yes, I said simply. But don't tell anyone. Not even me, her lips twitched. That's cryptic. You'll understand soon. Later that night, I sat across from Harper Lynn, my therapist. Her calm voice used to irritate me, but now it anchored me. You seem different, she said. Cold, calculated. Last session, you were worried about approval from your parents. Today, you sound like you're planning a war. I'm not planning a war, I said quietly. I'm planning efficiency. Efficiency? Yes, I wasted my first life seeking love that didn't exist. This time, I'll treat emotions like investments. Evaluate, cut losses, move on. She studied me. That sounds lonely. Peaceful, I corrected. Love made me weak. Loyalty made me blind. I'm done being both. Ethan, you can't heal by replacing pain with logic. I leaned forward. Then I'll rebuild myself through logic. You fix broken systems, right? I'm just fixing mine, she sighed. You sound like your father. That hit deeper than she knew. Good, I said. Maybe it's time I learned to beat him at his own game. When I got home, the apartment was dark. The rain still fell outside, soft and endless. I opened the old family photo album, one I'd burned in my past life. My younger self smiled beside Ryan, both of us wearing the same suit father bought. I touched the photo. You think you're winning, don't you? I whispered to the boy I once was. You think they love you. The words came out colder than I expected. The phone buzzed. Olivia again. Sir, one of the minor branches, Hale Logistics, is up for sale. I can make a bid tonight if you want. Do it, I said. And don't mention my name. Understood. Anything else? Yes. Starting tomorrow, I want you to gather everything about Ryan's upcoming project. Investors, partners, the works. She hesitated. Is this legal? Not always, I said. But it's necessary. After the call, I poured a glass of water, staring out at the city lights. The skyline glowed like a board of assets waiting to be acquired. 2 years. That was how long I had before the crash. 2 years to destroy the people who killed me, piece by piece, deal by deal. I whispered to the night. I was their weakest link once. This time I'll be their auditor. The rain eased. The city lights flickered against the window, and I felt the first real calm since my death. No more begging. No more pain, just numbers, strategy, and revenge, and this time I'd make sure the balance sheet ended in my favor. When I stepped into the Hale mansion again, the smell of polished marble and cold perfume hit me like old poison. I smiled anyway. Pretending was easy now. Ethan! Mother's voice floated down the staircase, sharp but sweet. You look healthier. The accident changed you. Maybe it fixed me, I said lightly. She laughed. Nonsense. You were always too serious. Try to enjoy life for once. Enjoyment. That word tasted bitter. I followed her into the grand hall, where Father sat with Ryan, discussing some merger he barely understood. Ryan glanced up. Brother, back from your little sabbatical? Just a short break, I said. Needed time to think. Good, Father said. Maybe you'll finally learn to listen before acting. I intend to, I replied. Listening is underrated. Ryan grinned, assuming victory. You missed a lot. I closed a major deal with Cross Dynamics last week. Cross Dynamics. I knew that name. Daniel Cross, my old college friend turned opportunist. He'd sell his own conscience if it came with a contract. Congratulations, I said. Cross Dynamics isn't bold. How's Daniel these days? Ryan shrugged. Still the same. Talks too much, drinks too much, but he makes money, so who cares? Money's all that matters, I said quietly. Father nodded approvingly. Exactly. Remember that, Ethan. Emotions ruin empires. I smiled at the irony. I'm learning. Later in my old room, I called Daniel. His laughter filled the line. Ethan Hale? I thought you'd gone underground. Ryan said you were unstable. I'm better now, I said. Actually, I wanted to congratulate you on that partnership with my family. Thanks, man. Your brother's got ambition. Bit reckless, but fun. Reckless is one word for it, I said. Just watch your numbers. Ryan loves big promises, Daniel chuckled. You sound like the responsible one now. What happened to the idealist who hated corporate games? He died, I said flatly. In an accident, he paused. That's dark. Truth usually is, I replied, then hung up. Dinner was a show. Ryan bragged through half the meal, Mother nodded at every lie, and Father pretended not to notice. I smiled at all the right moments, laughed at the right jokes, and memorized every weakness. Ryan leaned over. Sophia's coming by tomorrow. She asked about you. I kept my voice calm. Really? Yeah, guess she wants closure. He smirked. Don't fall for it again. I wouldn't dream of it. Mother sighed dramatically. She made a mistake, Ethan. Don't hold grudges. People change. People don't change, I said softly. They just reveal themselves. Her fork froze midair. What did you say? Nothing, I smiled. Just thinking out loud. The next afternoon, Sophia arrived. Same golden hair, same perfume, same practiced sadness in her eyes. Ethan, she whispered, stepping closer. I wanted to see you. To say I'm sorry? For what? I asked, keeping my tone light. For not believing you, she said. For walking away when you needed me, I chuckled. You didn't walk away. You traded up, her cheeks flushed. That's not fair. I was scared. Everyone said everyone, I interrupted. Yes, I remember. She reached out, fingers brushing my sleeve. Can't we start over? You've changed. I can see it. I have, I said. I finally learned how to lie properly. Her eyes widened. What do you mean? Nothing, I said. Just business talk. She hesitated, then tried to smile. You sound like your father. Good, I replied. Maybe now I'll survive. We stood in silence. I could almost feel her confusion, her regret, her need to be forgiven. But forgiveness was a luxury I couldn't afford. She sighed. You're different. I'm efficient, I said. Emotionally and financially, her voice trembled. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not, I said. Cruelty is emotional. I'm just practical. She left soon after, perfume lingering like an old lie. That night, I sat in Father's office while the house slept. I recorded every recent transaction, every investor name, every company Ryan touched. My voice echoed in the empty room. Step 1, gather data. Step 2, wait, the phone buzzed. Olivia's message appeared. The Hale Logistics shares are secure. Your Shell account now holds 22%. Perfect, I whispered. Let them think I'm weak. Let them laugh. From downstairs, I heard Ryan's laughter drifting up, confident, careless. I opened my notebook and wrote one line beneath my new company strategy. They're investing in their own downfall. The next morning, Father greeted me with pride. Good to see you focused again. Always, I said. Just watching and learning, he clapped my shoulder. That's the spirit, Ryan added. Don't overthink, brother. Leave the big moves to me, I smiled. Oh, I will. Inside, I counted every lie, every word, every face, pretending was my new art form. And soon, it would be their ruin. 15%, Olivia said, sliding the file across my desk, all through the shells. Clean, invisible, and untraceable. I flipped the pages slowly. Good, they'll never see it coming. She hesitated. You realize what this means, right? You're officially a silent owner of your own family's empire. My family's empire died when I did, I said. This is just a corpse I'm dissecting. Her voice softened. Ethan, you don't have to do this like it's war. It is war, I replied. They just don't know they're losing yet, she sighed. You sound like someone who's forgotten what peace feels like. I looked up. Peace died the night I did. At dinner, the chandelier glared down on the long table like judgment. Father discussed the company's new direction, while Ryan interrupted every few minutes to brag. Ethan, you wouldn't understand, Ryan said between bites. This level of strategy requires vision, I smiled. Of course, vision. That must be what you call gambling with logistics shares, he frowned. You wouldn't know. You've been gone too long, Father chuckled. Your brother's learning fast. Maybe you could pick up a few lessons. Oh, I already am, I said, sipping my wine. Every meeting is a masterclass. Mother gave me that polished smile. At least you're back to being agreeable. You were so tense before. Tense people tend to survive longer, I murmured. What? She asked. Nothing, I smiled. Just a thought. They laughed, mocked, and lectured me for the next hour. I listened to every insult carefully. Each one echoed something from my memos. The same ideas, same phrasing, slightly rearranged. When Father said, we must re-establish silent ownership through external investment, I nearly laughed. Those were my words. My exact phrasing. I leaned back. That's brilliant, Father. Truly inspired. Finally you agree, he said, pleased. Ryan raised his glass. To hail vision. I raised mine. To blindness that looks like vision. He blinked. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, I said smoothly. Just a toast to success. Later that night, Olivia called. You sound calm, she said. Too calm. I've learned to be. They don't even realize you're quoting yourself at them? They never listened before, I said. Why start now? You could confront them. Tell them and ruin everything? No, let them steal ideas. It makes their downfall poetic. She went quiet. Ethan, does it ever bother you that you sound more like them every day? I paused. That's the point, Olivia. To beat them, I have to speak their language. And when the game's over, she asked softly, who will you be then? Whoever's left. The next session with Harper was worse. She sat across from me, legs crossed, pen tapping against her notebook. You've been busy, she said. Investments, meetings, secrets. You've been reading my mind again, I replied dryly. You're easier to read than you think. I doubt that. She tilted her head. Tell me, Ethan, how does revenge feel so far? Efficient, I said. Cleaner than forgiveness. That's not an answer. It's the only one that fits. She leaned forward. You know this isn't just about business. You're trying to win a family that never played fair. I'm not trying to win them, I said. I'm managing them. Like a failing division. People aren't companies. Then they shouldn't have treated me like a product. Harper's voice softened. Revenge costs peace. You'll lose yourself before you finish this. I already told you, I said. Peace died the night I did, she sighed. You keep saying that like it's a shield. It is, I replied. It keeps the blood from showing. The next day, Olivia joined me in the office again. She dropped a folder on the table. New updates. Your silent holdings now total 15.4%, but you'll need a board ally soon or they'll catch on. I'll handle it, I said. Daniel Cross? She guessed. Maybe. He likes leverage and I have plenty to give. You're playing with fire. I'm made of ashes, I said. Fire doesn't scare me anymore. She looked at me for a long moment. You talk like someone who doesn't expect to survive this. Survival's overrated, I said. Control is what matters, she shook her head. You're losing the part of you that used to care. I smiled faintly. That part got me killed last time. That evening, I stood outside the mansion balcony, the city lights flickering below. The same walls that once suffocated me now felt like theater curtains. Inside, my parents' laughter drifted through the glass. Ryan's arrogant voice echoed something about future dominance. They thought they were winning. They thought I was weak. I whispered to the night, "The game has begun." And somewhere deep inside, beneath the ice, something almost like satisfaction stirred. "Ryan's deal just collapsed," Olivia said as she burst into my office. "Stocks plummeting, 10% in 2 hours." I didn't look up from my screen. "Which deal?" "The one with Orion Logistics. They pulled out after Grace Bennett's article went live." I finally smiled. "Grace moves fast. You leaked it, didn't you?" she said quietly. "I released truth," I corrected. "Lies deserve light." "Ethan, she's a shark," Olivia warned. "Once she smells blood, she won't stop. You think you can control that?" "I don't need to," I said. "I just have to let her bite where it hurts." She folded her arms. "You're enjoying this." "Maybe," I admitted. "But it feels empty," her voice softened. "That's because revenge doesn't fill holes. It just makes them deeper." I stared at the crashing numbers on the screen. "Then I'll drown in them." That night, the Hale mansion turned into chaos. Father shouted from the dining room. "Ryan, you said the deal was airtight." Ryan's voice cracked. "It was. I swear, Dad, I had guarantees. Guarantees don't mean anything when the media says you're incompetent." Father slammed his fist on the table. Mother's shrill tone cut through the room. "Charles, stop yelling." "It's not his fault." "Someone's sabotaging us." I stepped inside quietly. "Maybe you should listen to her for once." Father spun toward me. "You think this is funny?" I smiled faintly. "Only if you define irony as funny." Ryan glared at me. "Don't start. You've done nothing since you got back except sit in your office pretending to care." "Pretending?" I walked closer. "You've been pretending all your life, Ryan. Pretending to be capable, pretending to lead. Now reality's caught up." He shoved me. "You think you're better than me?" "I don't think," I said calmly. "I know. Enough." Father barked. "Both of you!" He turned to Ryan. "Fix this mess before the board demands blood." Ryan muttered under his breath. "Maybe we should ask Ethan to fix it." "He's good at manipulation," I smirked. "Flattery won't get you out of bankruptcy." Mother's eyes narrowed. "Why are you smiling, Ethan?" "Because," I said, "I've waited a long time to see honesty in this house. Failure is the first truth we've had in years." Later, I met Grace Bennett at a quiet cafe downtown. She wore confidence like perfume, strong, noticeable, impossible to ignore. "You're punctual," she said, flipping open her notepad. "I like that in a source." "I'm not your source," I said. "I'm your investor." Her eyes sparkled. "Investor?" "That's one way to put it. You feed me information, I build stories. Everyone wins." "Everyone except the Hales," I said. She leaned forward. "Tell me, why are you doing this?" "You've got inside access, family connections, and enough leverage to burn an empire." I met her gaze. "Because it's already ashes." "I'm just showing the world the smoke," Grace smirked. "Poetic, dangerous. I like it. I didn't come here for your approval." "Then what did you come for?" "Results," I said. "And precision. I don't want the company destroyed overnight. I want it dismantled piece by piece." "Slow death," she murmured. "Very Shakespearean." "I'm not writing tragedy," I said. "I'm writing balance," she laughed softly. "Whatever helps you sleep at night, Hale." Her words stung more than they should have. When I returned home, Olivia was waiting in the study. "You met her, didn't you?" "Yes, and?" "She's efficient." "Ethan," she said carefully, "you're losing your line." "What line?" "The one between justice and cruelty." I looked at her. "Justice is cruel, Olivia. You just prefer your version with prettier words. She's going to destroy more than your family. She'll destroy you too." "Maybe that's the point," I said quietly. She stepped closer. "No, it isn't. You think you're hollow now, but when this ends, you'll be worse." "Empty doesn't mean healed." I turned away. "Spare me the therapy. Harper's already said enough." "I'm not your therapist," she said sharply. "I'm the only one still reminding you you're human." I didn't answer. The silence stretched until it felt like a wound. The next morning, headlines screamed, "The Hale legacy on the edge." Father didn't come to breakfast. Mother's eyes were red. Ryan's phone buzzed nonstop with angry investors. I sipped my coffee slowly. "Rough morning?" Ryan slammed the paper onto the table. "You think this is funny?" I looked at the headline again. No, just predictable, Mother whispered. How could this happen? Father finally appeared, gray-faced and trembling. Someone leaked our reports. Someone from inside. Ryan turned toward me immediately. Him. It's him. It's always him, I smiled. I wish I were that clever. Father's voice cracked. You both shut up. We'll fix this. We always fix things, I rose from my chair. Maybe not this time. Mother's voice trembled. Ethan, please. Don't gloat. I'm not gloating, I said softly. I'm watching a lesson unfold. As I left the room, the noise faded behind me. The shouting, the panic, the fear. For a brief, cold moment, I felt something close to satisfaction. Then it hit me. It didn't feel like victory. It felt like nothing at all. I heard the knock before I saw her. 3 soft taps, uncertain, like guilt had learned manners. Come in, I said without looking up. When the door creaked open, her perfume hit me first. The same scent from the night she walked away. I didn't lift my head until I heard her whisper, Ethan. Sophia. For a second, memory tried to crawl out of the grave I'd buried it in. I shoved it back. You look different, she said. Colder. I feel different, I replied. Colder fits. She took a few hesitant steps forward. I had to see you. I know everything now. Everything? I asked, still scrolling through the financials on my screen. Ryan, she said, voice trembling. He forged the documents. The ones that framed you. I didn't know, Ethan. I swear. I finally looked up. Her eyes were red, her makeup smudged. You didn't know, I repeated. But you believed. I was scared, she said. Your father said you stole from the company. Ryan said he found proof, and you never asked me. Her lips quivered. You were unreachable after the crash. They said you ran away in shame. I wanted to believe that wasn't you, but you did anyway, I finished for her. She nodded, tears sliding down her cheeks. I made a mistake. No, I said quietly. You made a choice. Her breath hitched. I came to make it right. I leaned back. Make it right? Do you know how many nights I begged myself to stop loving you? Ethan? How many times I replayed that night, wondering what I could have said to make you stay. She covered her face with her hands. Please stop. You don't get to say that, I said. You wanted truth, here it is. I died that night because of you, Sophia. Maybe not the body, but the man you loved didn't survive. Her hands dropped. Don't say that. You're still you, I shook my head. No, you're talking to the version of me that learned emotions are liabilities. I don't believe that. You believed lies easily enough before. She flinched. I deserve that. Yes, I said, you do. The room went silent. Only the clock ticked, mocking both of us for wasting time. I can't sleep anymore, she whispered. Every time I close my eyes, I see you in that hospital bed. I thought you were dead. You were half right, I said. Death's quieter than betrayal, she stepped closer. I'm sorry, Ethan, I didn't come for pity. I came because I still love you. I laughed once. It sounded hollow even to me. Love? You loved the obedient heir. The man who gave without asking questions. The fool. Her tears fell harder. You're not that man anymore. You're right, I said. I'm not. I'm something else now. What are you? She asked. An investor in karma, I said. She stared at me like she didn't understand. What does that even mean? It means I've stopped chasing people, I said. I just let the universe handle the returns. Sophia reached out, her hand trembling. Please, Ethan, don't do this. Don't turn into them. I already did, I said quietly. That's how I survived. I don't recognize you. Good, I said. That means it's working, she shook her head. You think this is strength? It's just another cage. Maybe, I admitted. But at least I built it myself, her voice cracked. Forgive me. I met her eyes and said, Forgiveness is for people who still feel. She broke then, silent sobs racking her shoulders. I didn't move. I couldn't. I thought I could fix it, she said through tears. But you've already decided, haven't you? Yes. Then I guess this is goodbye. It already was, I said. She stood there for a long time as if waiting for a sign of softness. There wasn't any left to give. When she finally turned to leave, her voice trembled. You'll regret this one day. Maybe, I said. But not today. The door closed behind her with a sound that felt final. I sat there for a long time, staring at the empty doorway. Olivia's voice broke the silence from behind me. I hadn't heard her enter. She's gone? Yes. She looked broken. So was I said. Difference is, I learned how to function. Olivia hesitated. Do you feel better now? I thought about it. No, just cleaner. She gave a sad smile. That's not peace, Ethan. I know, I said softly. It's maintenance. I leaned back in my chair, closing my eyes. The silence pressed down, heavy and absolute. For the first time, I realized revenge didn't sound like victory. It sounded like an echo. Grace's voice trembled on the phone. It's done, Ethan. The article's live. For a moment, silence filled the room. My pulse barely moved. And? Trending number 1. Headlines everywhere. The Heir empire built on lies. She hesitated. You sure you're ready for this storm? I started it, I said quietly. Might as well see how it ends, she sighed. You sound detached. I've been detached since the day they buried me alive, I replied, setting my coffee down. This is just the wake. Grace didn't speak for a while. Then, you should get some rest. Rest is for the forgiven, I said, ending the call. When I walked into the living room, Olivia was staring at the TV. The Heir crest flashed behind a row of flashing cameras and reporters shouting. Ryan in handcuffs was being escorted into a car. They got him, she said softly. Good. My voice came out colder than I intended. Olivia turned toward me. You don't even blink, do you? What would blinking change? He's your brother. No, I corrected. He's the man who forged my ruin. Her lips parted, but she didn't argue. And your father? I looked at the screen. My father's face was pale as he tried to push past reporters. He looks smaller, I murmured. He just lost everything, she said. So did I once. Olivia crossed her arms. Ethan, this isn't justice anymore. It's, don't say revenge. Then what should I call it? Balance, I said. The universe collecting its debt, she shook her head. You sound like him. That stopped me. Like who? Your father. The way you justify everything. The words stung more than I wanted to admit. You think I'm like him? I think you're turning into what you hate. I stared at the floor. For a long moment, the only sound was the faint hum of the television. Maybe that's the price, I whispered. Olivia's voice softened. What if it's not too late? It is, I said. I traded my soul for a front row seat to their collapse. The next day, the world exploded. Grace's follow-up story named every hidden account, every fake donation, every manipulated board vote. The headlines didn't just expose them, they shredded them. Heir family faces federal charges. Philanthropy or fraud? Inside the empire's deceit. Each line was a mirror I didn't want to look into. My phone buzzed nonstop. Investors, lawyers, even Harper called. Ethan, she said the moment I answered. What did you do? What had to be done? Your mother collapsed on live television. I froze. What? She fainted mid-interview. It's everywhere. She looked terrified. I didn't respond. My throat tightened, but no sound came out. Ethan? Harper's tone softened. You're scaring me. Don't tell me you feel nothing. I exhaled slowly. I feel everything, I said. Just differently. That's not healing, she whispered. That's rot, maybe, I said. But rot feeds the soil, doesn't it? She hung up. That night, I watched the footage alone. My father's eyes were hollow. Ryan's rage burned behind police glass, and my mother, she looked lost. Her tears weren't for justice, but for reputation. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, there was a strange quiet inside me. Not peace, just emptiness with a crown. Olivia walked in holding a folder. You won, she said. Did I? Ryan's facing 20 years. Your father's under investigation. The empire's gone. And yet, I said, staring out the window, I don't feel free. She sat across from me. Because freedom built on ruin still smells like smoke. I glanced at her. You think I went too far? I think you lost yourself somewhere between justice and obsession. Her words echoed like a verdict. I wanted to deny it, but couldn't. I used to dream of this day, I admitted. The day they'd finally pay. But now that it's here, it doesn't fill the hole, does it? No, I said. It just makes it echo louder. Olivia reached out, touching my hand gently. Then maybe it's time to stop digging. I looked at her hand, warm against mine, and then at the screen showing my family's ruin. It's too late to stop, I whispered. The avalanche is already moving. She leaned closer. Then step aside before it buries you too. Her words lingered long after she left. The next morning, I stood before the mirror, looking at a face that didn't look entirely mine. My reflection stared back with the same cold eyes my father used to wear. I finally understood. I hadn't destroyed the Heir Empire. I just replaced its greed with my vengeance. Both poisons, both fatal. And as the sun rose over the city, all I could taste was the bitterness of my own victory. The elevator chimed, its polished doors reflecting a version of me I barely recognized. Sharp suit, steady eyes, no tremor in my hands. The man they buried was gone. As the doors opened, silence spread across the floor of Heir Enterprises. Whispers followed me like ghosts. Is that him? Someone muttered. He's back. I walked past them without a glance. The glass walls of the boardroom gleamed ahead. My old battlefield. When I stepped inside, the board members stiffened. My father's chair sat empty at the head of the table. Gentlemen, I said evenly, shall we begin? Gregory, the acting chairman, cleared his throat. Ethan, the vote was unanimous. The board has decided to reinstate you as CEO. Decided? I said, sliding the folder across the table. No, Gregory. You were outvoted. His jaw tightened. You've already been making changes behind the scenes, haven't you? Transparency is overdue, murmurs rippled. One man spoke up. You can't just fire half the board overnight. I can, I interrupted, and I will. Corruption is not a department. It's a disease. Consider this chemotherapy. The tension cracked. Gregory slammed his pen down. You're burning the company from the inside. No, I said calmly. I'm cutting out the rot. Olivia, seated near the end, watched silently. She'd refused an official position, but agreed to advise me privately. Her eyes warned me to tread carefully. Let's put it to vote, Gregory snapped. Already done, I said. 5 members removed for unethical conduct. Their replacements are waiting in the lobby. The room went still. You planned this, someone whispered. Of course, I replied. I've had years to prepare while you were too busy covering your tracks. I turned to the glass wall. The skyline shimmered beyond it, sharp, cold, untouchable. This company forgot what integrity meant. That ends today, Gregory leaned back. You think you're saving Heir Enterprises? But all you're doing is proving you're one of them. Maybe, I said softly. But at least I'm the version that learns from history. Olivia finally spoke. Enough, she said. Ethan isn't your enemy. He's the reason you still have a company to come back to. Her voice steadied the chaos, but only slightly. The meeting adjourned in silence. When the last member left, I exhaled for the first time. Olivia closed the door and crossed her arms. You didn't even flinch. Would it help? It would make you human. I smiled faintly. Humans bleed. CEOs can't afford to, she frowned. That's not power, Ethan. That's armor. I need both, I said. She sighed. Then wear it wisely. Later, I walked through the executive floor, my floor now. Every painting, every piece of furniture screamed of the empire that once mocked me. I paused by the massive portrait of my father. His eyes seemed to follow me. I'm back, I whispered. Not for revenge. For correction. My reflection overlapped his in the glass frame. 2 versions of power, both haunted. Olivia joined me, holding a folder. These are the restructuring plans, I nodded. We'll liquidate the shell foundations, redirect the funds to real innovation projects. That's surprisingly noble. Numbers don't lie, I said. People do, she tilted her head. So you'll run this company like a spreadsheet? Exactly. Cut losses. Invest in strength and emotions. They depreciate fast, I said quietly. She gave me a look somewhere between pity and respect. You know, Ethan, you talk like a man who won the war but lost the reason for fighting. Maybe winning was the only reason left. As she left, I turned toward the window again. The city glowed below, a mosaic of light and ambition. The office behind me was empty, clean, organized, efficient. Everything had its place. Everything except peace. I checked my reflection once more. My suit was flawless, my eyes colder than glass. The world saw control. I saw containment. Harper's words echoed faintly. Revenge costs peace. She was right. Peace had died with the man who once needed their approval. What stood here now was the Heir they tried to erase, resurrected, refined, and ruthlessly precise. My assistant entered quietly. "Mr. Hale, the press conference starts in 5. Tell them I'll be there." As she left, I glanced at the company logo etched on the wall. Hale Enterprises. For the first time, it didn't feel like theirs. It felt like mine. I straightened my tie, looked out over the skyline, and whispered, "Let the new era begin." The city lights blinked like applause from a distance. But inside, the silence felt heavier than ever. Power regained, peace long gone. I had become exactly what they built, only sharper. And this time, I wasn't the one who would break. Olivia stood by the window, city lights reflecting in her eyes. Her voice was quiet, almost hesitant. "You've built an empire out of ashes, Ethan, but do you even know what it cost you?" I set the report down. "Everything worth losing." "That's not true." I looked up, my tone colder than I intended. "Then tell me what's left." She turned to face me. "You, the man who used to believe loyalty mattered. The one who laughed once in a while, who cared when people hurt. That man died the night my car exploded," I said. "You helped bury him." She didn't flinch. "I helped you survive. But somewhere along the way, you stopped living." "Survival is living," I muttered. "It's just less poetic." "Stop pretending you don't feel." Her voice trembled now. "I see it, Ethan. Beneath the control, the planning, the numbers, you still want to be seen." "Seen by who?" "By me," the air thickened. Her words landed heavier than any betrayal I'd ever endured. I tried to laugh, but it came out brittle. "You're my assistant, Olivia." "I was," she said. "But that's not why I'm here." I exhaled slowly, forcing composure. "Then why are you here?" She took a step closer. "Because I love you." The room fell silent. I could hear the hum of the air conditioning, the faint city noise below, even the echo of my heartbeat that suddenly didn't sound so steady. I stared at her. "You love me? The man who manipulates markets, who ruined lives." Her eyes didn't waver. "No. I love the man who still blames himself for loving too much once. The one who still stares out that window at night, wondering if he became what he hated." I wanted to deny it, to shut the door before anything real slipped through, but my voice cracked. "Olivia, don't do this to yourself." "I already did," she whispered. "Every time you looked at me and pretended not to feel, I can't give you what you want. I didn't ask for that. Then what do you want?" She hesitated, then said softly, "For you to stop being at war with yourself." I turned away, facing the glass. My reflection stared back, half in light, half in shadow. "War keeps me focused." "War keeps you lonely," she replied. I clenched my jaw. "You think love fixes that?" "No," she said. "But it reminds you why you ever cared." Her voice was steady now, and that steadiness terrified me more than her confession. I tried to speak, but words wouldn't come. Every defense I'd built over years, numbers, plans, revenge, felt useless against the simplicity of her truth. Finally, I whispered, "You shouldn't love me, Olivia." "Maybe not," she said. "But I do." She moved closer until I could feel the warmth of her presence. My instinct was to step back, but my body refused to obey. "Do you ever think about what comes after this?" she asked. "When the revenge ends?" "There is no after," I said. "Revenge doesn't end. It just changes form." Her expression softened, like she was mourning something I couldn't see. "Then you'll never find peace." "Peace is overrated," I muttered. "Peace is human," she said quietly. "And you still are," I almost laughed. "Am I?" "Because I don't feel human anymore." She reached out, touching my hand lightly. "Then feel this." The contact burned, not from pain, but recognition. I pulled back. "Don't," she smiled sadly. "You're afraid." "I'm cautious," I said. "No," she whispered. "You're afraid to find out you can still feel." Her words lingered long after she left. Hours later, I was still in my office, the city glowing beneath me like a heartbeat. I stared at my reflection again, the same question circling my mind. Could I still love? I thought of Sophia's tears, of Ryan's smirk, of my father's voice calling me a disgrace. Then I thought of Olivia's eyes, steady, sincere, defiant. For the first time in years, something cracked. Not a breakdown, not redemption, just a tremor. I whispered to my reflection, maybe she's wrong. But deep down, I knew she wasn't. Revenge had given me power, but it had stolen my pulse. I had become efficient, calculated, unfeeling, a machine with a human face. And yet, for one unbearable moment, I wanted to be human again. When dawn crept through the glass, I picked up my phone and typed a message I didn't send. Maybe I'll learn to feel again. Someday. I stared at it, deleted it, and whispered the words aloud anyway. Someday. The city didn't answer, but for the first time I hoped it might. The wind was cold against my face, sharp but clean, like the kind of truth I'd spent years avoiding. I stared down at the marble stone. Charles Hale, the man who taught me numbers, leverage, and how to bury weakness beneath polished smiles. Olivia stood beside me in silence. She didn't say anything, and I didn't need her to. Some moments demand quiet. I used to think this day would feel like victory, I said, my voice low. But it doesn't. She looked at me gently. What does it feel like? Balanced, I murmured. Like the final line of a ledger that finally makes sense. You've been balancing your soul like it's an account book, she said softly. Maybe it's time to stop calculating. I smiled faintly. That's all I know how to do. Then learn something new, she said. For once, let peace be your prophet. Peace. I almost laughed at the word. Once it had sounded like surrender. Now it felt like something distant but possible. I crouched down, brushing some dust off the grave. You know, he told me once that love was a liability. Said it clouds judgment, ruins efficiency, and you believed him? I did, until you. Her eyes softened. So what do you believe now? That love isn't a liability, I said slowly. It's an investment, one that doesn't always pay back but still matters. She smiled faintly. Sounds like a man finally done with revenge. I stared at the grave again. Revenge ended the day I realized I'd become him. Olivia tilted her head. You're nothing like him. Maybe not, I said. But I understand him now. He feared losing control more than he loved anything. Control feels safe, she said. But it's also lonely. I glanced at her. You would know, she smiled. You taught me. We both laughed quietly, the sound too soft for a cemetery. I thought I'd say something angry today, I admitted. Something like you got what you deserved. But standing here, there's no anger left. Just a kind of stillness. That's healing, Ethan, she said. That's what it feels like. I straightened up, looking over the rows of graves. I spent years thinking life was a war to win. But it's just a business cycle, isn't it? Rise, fall, rebuild. Except now, Olivia said. You don't need to rebuild anything. Maybe I do, I said quietly. Just not the company. Myself. She took my hand gently. You already started. I looked at our joined hands. Steady. Real. I never thanked you, I said. You don't have to. I do. You saw me when I didn't even see myself. Her voice softened. You were just lost, Ethan. People don't stay lost forever. I glanced back at my father's name. You taught me to run a business, I whispered. But I had to destroy it to learn how to run my life. Olivia stepped closer. And now? Now, I said, I finally understand profit, she smiled. And what's profit to you? Peace of mind, I said. And maybe, the right person beside me, her eyes met mine. You really think you deserve that? I hesitated, then nodded. Yeah, for the first time I do. The wind rustled through the trees, scattering dry leaves across the ground. It sounded like the closing of an old account, quiet, final, freeing. We began walking back toward the car, our footsteps crunching over gravel. Do you miss it? Olivia asked. The thrill? The control? Sometimes, I admitted. But mostly, I'm tired of playing God. She squeezed my hand. Then be human again. I'm trying, I said. And you're doing it, she replied. Look at you, you're here, not plotting, not pretending. Just here, I smiled. That's new, she laughed softly. Progress, Mr. Hale. The title made me flinch. Don't call me that. Why not? Because Mr. Hale was the man who thought love was weakness, I said. I'm not him anymore. Then who are you? I thought for a moment, then said quietly, just Ethan. We reached the car. I paused, looking back one last time. The grave gleamed in the sunlight, and for the first time I didn't see a symbol of loss. I saw balance. Goodbye, Father, I whispered. You taught me how to build empires. I learned how to build peace, Olivia smiled faintly. Ready to go? Yeah, I said, opening the car door. Let's go live a little. She slid in beside me, her hand still in mine. For a long moment, I just sat there, feeling the warmth of her fingers, the steady rhythm of something I hadn't felt in years. Life. As the car rolled down the hill, I whispered to myself, I'm finally alive again, and for once I believed it.